ICE is now reportedly going door to door. This is what you are going to do if ICE shows up at your door. By the way, this is advice for everybody. Anyone who lives in the United States, whether you're a citizen or not, whether your skin is as pale as paper and your great-great-great-great-grandfather came over here on the Mayflower. This applies to everyone. If ICE shows up at your door, you are not opening it. I don't care if they just want to ask you questions or they just want to talk, you are not opening the door. First, you should probably start recording. You're going to want to get as much video evidence of the interaction as you possibly can. If you want to be super precautious, using some sort of camera that's downloading video to the cloud as it's recording. So if the ICE agent decides to steal your phone and delete the video, you're still going to have video evidence. You can ask them to identify themselves or have them tell you what they're there for. I don't care what their answer is. You're not opening the door, not even a crack, and you're asking them for a warrant, a judicial warrant. The judicial warrant is going to say United States District Court at the top. It needs to be signed by a judge. The way you can tell that is the signature line at the bottom should identify that it is a judge. And that warrant should have your residential address on it. They have to be specific in identifying where they are entering and where they are searching. So if it does not say your address on there, that's not a valid warrant and you don't need to let them in. It better be your right address. If you live in an apartment complex, it better have your unit number. Make them hold the warrant up to a window, or if they can, slide it under the door, because what are we doing? Not opening the door. Now, if they do have a warrant, a valid warrant with your address on it, signed by a judge, legally you are supposed to let them in. And I will leave it at that. If they do not have a warrant, that should be end of story. You're going to say to them, I do not consent to you entering my home. Loud and clear, so the videos get it. However, they are going to lie to you. They're going to lie to you and say they have one, it's in the car, we're getting one. They're going to try to strong arm you, scare you, or convince you to open that door. That door is staying closed. In this next piece of advice, it's not the advice that I would like to give, but it is the most legally sound advice that if you do end up in court, this is the best way to set yourself up. So if they barge their way through the door, continue to say loud and clear that you do not consent to them entering your home. You do not consent to them searching your home. And you will tell them that you would like to speak to an attorney. If they are trying to arrest you, if you are not free to go, assert your right to an attorney. They're not going to listen to you, but the purpose is that you have evidence that you did not consent to this. You're not going to say anything else. Okay? You're not going to answer any questions. You're not going to sign anything. Your mouth should be glued shut. We have a constitutional protection against the government, and we should not be giving them freebies. Even if you were doing nothing wrong, you're not going to rat out your neighbors, and you are going to exercise your right to remain silent like a good American. Silence is not admission. Silence is a right. For my fellow white people, if you are thinking that this is a very scary time, I urge you to channel that fear and turn it into motivation and action. They want to scare people into not leaving their homes, into not standing up for their black and brown neighbors. They want to scare people into becoming complicit. We need to start getting comfortable with the uncomfortability of it. White people have lived in a bubble of protection where, whether you realize it or not, you feel safe with the color of your skin because you have this subconscious that nothing's going to happen to me, it happens to them. They are banking on you being too scared to do anything now, and you are not going to allow that to happen. Continue to stand in solidarity, continue to educate yourself, and continue to advocate. And don't forget, don't talk to cops or ICE agents. Okay, bye!